Suyu was just coming to his senses when he felt the jade bead feed all the blood qi it had just absorbed back into his dantian. In an instant, a large amount of blood qi rushed into his dantian, making it full and abundant. The next moment, he directly broke through his cultivation realm. Qi Condensation Seventh Stage. At this moment, Suyu finally panicked and hurriedly stopped the jade bead from sending blood qi and beast qi into his dantian. The beast qi within the beast's body was too chaotic and too violent, something a martial artist could not withstand. Although martial artists could absorb it, it would damage their tendons and meridians, and in severe cases, it could shatter the dantian and sever the meridians, leaving them unable to practice cultivation for the rest of their lives. Suyu, at this moment, paid no attention to the joy of advancing in cultivation and hurriedly inspected his dantian. However, the next moment, Suyu was stunned on the spot. Inside his dantian, the spiritual qi was extremely pure, with no impurities at all. How could this be? After a careful observation, Suyu reluctantly withdrew from his dantian, still unable to believe it. What exactly was this jade bead? How could it have such a miraculous effect? Suyu controlled the jade bead to continue pouring the beast qi it had devoured into his dantian. The spiritual qi was extremely gentle, without any signs of violence, flowing smoothly into his dantian. Inside his dantian, the spiritual qi was abundant. After pouring all the spiritual qi into his dantian, the jade bead finally calmed down, continuing to float above the dantian, automatically rotating and absorbing the spiritual qi of heaven and earth. Suyu looked at the shriveled corpse and tore its head open, revealing a bead-sized beast core. The spiritual qi within this beast core had already been absorbed by the jade bead, leaving it like an ordinary stone. The beast core was akin to a human's dantian, gathering the spiritual qi within the beast's body, making it the most valuable item on the beast's entire body. However, the spiritual qi within this beast core had already been absorbed by Suyu, leaving it worthless. A beast of this quality could not be sold for money anymore, so Suyu would have to find another beast to kill and sell for money. After all, Su Ling was still waiting at home for meat, and he couldn't let his sister go hungry. Ah! Don't worry about me. Protect Master Zhang. Hurry and go. Just as Suyu was about to leave, he heard these screams and couldn't help but stop, observing the scene. Not far away, a 16-year-old boy, with a look of terror on his face, was crawling towards Suyu on all fours. Behind him, 5 Zhang family beast hunters were fighting a group of red slaughter wolves. Seeing Zhang Yui's pathetic appearance, a slight smile formed on the corner of his mouth. He didn't expect such a pleasant surprise. Zhang Yui was the young master who, in the morning, had claimed that the Zhang family did not raise ordinary people. And the 5 people behind him were the beast hunters employed by the Zhang family. Beast hunters not only had to hunt beasts but also protect the personal safety of the Zhang family's young master. The 5 of them were not weak, with 1 at Qi Condensation Sixth Stage, 2 at Qi Condensation Seventh Stage, and 2 at Qi Condensation Eighth Stage. With such strength, they could roam the edges of the 10,000 Beast Mountains without worry. However, they had encountered a group of red slaughter wolves, numbering dozens, surrounding them and attacking from all sides, making it difficult for them to resist. In an instant, 2 of them were already dead, their internal organs swallowed, and blood splattered on the ground. The remaining 3 also quickly died, being torn apart by the wolf pack. At this moment, the cold eyes of the red slaughter wolves turned to Zhang Yui, and in the next moment, they pounced with their mouths wide open. Zhang Yui took this opportunity to leap onto a towering ancient tree, looking down at the wolf pack below. He took a deep breath, wiped the sweat from his face, and said weakly, "Safe, finally safe." As he spoke, he panted heavily. Suddenly, a cold voice rang out from above. "Are you really safe?" Zhang Yui's movements froze, and he numbly raised his head to look up. Suyu directly dropped from above, kicking Zhang Yui in the chest, causing him to fall from the towering ancient tree. Suyu took his place, standing on the branch, expressionless as he watched Zhang Yui fall. When Zhang Yui saw Suyu's face, his pupils constricted, and his face showed shock. He couldn't understand why Suyu, who had become a waste, would appear here, and more importantly, why he hadn't detected him. However, he would never understand. The red slaughter wolves below were already leaping up, tearing him apart. Ah! With a loud, agonizing scream, Zhang Yui was instantly torn to pieces by the wolf pack, unable to even resist before becoming their prey. A sense of satisfaction flashed through Suyu's mind, with no hint of pity. After the red slaughter wolves had finished their meal, Suyu jumped down from the tree. However, he didn't leave in a hurry but observed the ground around him, as if searching for something. Suddenly, Suyu's eyes lit up as he spotted a bloody finger with a purple ring. The storage ring, made of an extremely special material, had an independent space inside, capable of storing clothes and other items, making it very convenient. Without any hesitation, Suyu picked up the finger, removed the ring, and casually threw the finger away. Then, he exposed the wound on his palm, letting the blood drip onto the ring. Instantly, Suyu felt a connection with the ring. With a thought, all the items inside the ring appeared before his eyes. There weren't many items, just a sharp sword, some silver coins, and two handwritten martial skill manuals. After a quick glance, he turned his attention to the few broken bodies in front of him. Just moments ago, 5 beast hunters fought desperately against the red shaman wolves, and after slaying 2 of them, they met their demise. Suyu recalled how he once protected the young master of the Zhang family, Zhang Wenbin, with his life, only to end up being expelled from the family. Looking at the tattered bodies, he couldn't help but sigh. "It's not worth it." He lamented for them and for himself. Then, Suyu turned his gaze to the 2 wolf corpses, activating the Jade Bead within his body. A large amount of blood energy surged into the Jade Bead and then flowed into his dantian. The 2 wolf corpses visibly withered before his eyes, ultimately becoming dry husks. Feeling the abundant spiritual energy in his dantian, Suyu felt a surge of excitement. It had been less than half an hour since his last breakthrough, and now he was about to break through again. The power of this Jade Bead was truly incredible. Suyu felt that with just one more mid-stage first-level beast, he would surely advance to the 8th layer of the Qi Condensation realm. However, Suyu no longer had the time to continue hunting beasts, as his younger sister was still hungry at home. He then left the 10,000 Beast Mountains and returned to Kanglan City. On the way, he used Zhang Yui's money to buy some meat and a few days' worth of rice and vegetables, and headed home. A moment later, Suyu pushed open the door, holding the meat in his hand. "Brother, you're finally back. I was about to starve to death." Su Linger, hearing the door open, ran into the room quickly, her voice filled with joy. Su saw the white smoke rising from the kitchen and knew that Su Linger had everything ready, just waiting for the meat to return. Su Linger took a few steps forward, snatched the ingredients from Su Yu's hands, and said, "You go wait in the room for a moment, and I'll show you what I can do." "All right, I'll be waiting." Su Yu smiled, watching as Su Linger entered the kitchen. He then walked into the living room. As soon as he entered, he noticed that the table, chairs, and everything else were spotless, clearly cleaned by Su Linger. Su walked over, sat down on a chair, and closed his eyes, focusing on the jade bead in his dantian. He couldn't quite believe what had happened in just a few hours. A few hours ago, he was a waste, but now he had not only restored his dantian but also broken through to a higher realm. It was simply unbelievable. What was the origin of the jade bead left by his father? How could it have such an incredible effect? And what about the sharp sword inside the jade bead? What was its origin? After thinking for a long time, Su gave up. He would know what the sword was for in due time. Su Linger cooked quickly, and soon several dishes were placed on the table, along with 2 bowls of steaming hot rice. The two of them began to eat with relish. "Linger, stay at home this afternoon and don't wander around. I'll be entering the 10,000 Beast Mountains later to hunt beasts and train." Su Linger nodded, a worried look on her face. "All right, brother, be careful in the 10,000 Beast Mountains." Su didn't say anything but nodded. Soon, after finishing a bowl of rice, Su set off for the 10,000 Beast Mountains again. Knowing that the jade bead could absorb the energy of beasts, Su was constantly thinking about hunting beasts to advance his realm. Leaving Kanglan City, he headed back to the 10,000 Beast Mountains. However, before he could penetrate deeper, he heard a cacophony of sounds. Su quietly approached, hid in the grass, and peered through a gap. He saw Zhang Wenbin leading the way, followed by 5 beast hunters, strolling through the 10,000 Beast Mountains as if they were taking a leisurely walk. "Sigh, I wonder what father was thinking, making me enter the 10,000 Beast Mountains to hunt beasts and train. I don't see the point." A beast hunter behind him stepped forward, flattery in his voice. "Perhaps the family head wants the young master to win the first place in the competition 3 days from now, to become a disciple of the Qixio sect and bring glory to the family." However, Zhang Wenbin was not convinced and replied calmly, "How is that possible? With my current strength, there's no way I can win the competition. I might as well enjoy myself." As he said this, the image of Su Linger's graceful figure flashed in Zhang Wenbin's mind, and a lecherous look appeared on his face. He thought to himself, "Once I return, I will make that little girl submit to me." With this thought, Zhang Wenbin's face showed a silly smile, as if he had already succeeded. Su Yu's brows furrowed, a fierce look flashing in his eyes, and a surge of anger rose in his heart. His fists clenched involuntarily. "Zhang Wenbin, you just wait. I'll make you follow in Zhang Yui's footsteps." Then, Su quietly left. Although Zhang Wenbin was only at the 7th layer of the Qi Condensation realm, the 5 beast hunters were very powerful, with the weakest being at the 7th layer and the strongest at the 9th layer. With Su Yu's current strength, if he acted rashly, he would not only expose himself but also die in vain, which would not be worth it. So, Su Yu chose to bide his time and wait for the right opportunity. He heard the guard say that if he won the competition 3 days from now, he could join the Qixio sect. A fierce light flashed in Su Yu's eyes. The Qixio sect, one of the 3 major forces of the Silver Moon Dynasty, was extremely powerful. Even a single elder or disciple they sent out could destroy the entire Kanglan city. If he could join and receive protection, what would the Zhang family be to him? A grand idea emerged in Su Yu's mind. He would strive to win the competition 3 days from now.